Good evening everyone, and thanks a lot for joining us. We are back, we are live. If you're watching this after we've been live, thank you very much for hitting play on the video, and I hope you enjoy everything we're going to go through today. We've got a few of you guys showing up already, nice and early. We're probably going to dive kind of straight into it in terms of the roundup. So if you caught the stream going into the game week, the teams did change a fair bit before we actually went on and submitted them. I'm actually really happy with how all the teams actually got put together, and the results a lot of them brought in was absolutely fantastic. Like many of you at home, there's a lot of war stories to talk about. There's a lot of stuff that's happened in this game week that really did backfire, or we didn't quite utilise as well as we could have. But again, it was just a really high scoring game week. Normally these high scoring ones I can sneak out with a couple of cards. We've just got the one this game week as it looks like so far, so I'll take you through all that. Well, let's set up the week we've got coming in now. In terms of the stream tonight, there's not going to be too much SO5 time, you know, because I've only got a team and a half that I can put out. So we'll be doing that. But I'll be spending the bulk of like the stream time on One Shot League because I missed the deadline for the game week we just had at the weekend. And I'm definitely not missing the next one. So I think this is the penultimate One Shot League round. So I'll be deep diving on that, but using all my power-ups and getting involved in all that kind of stuff. Also as well on the channel, I did a tweet earlier today. We dropped 4 amazing videos last week. There's another like 3 or 4 ready to rock for this week. Another one went out today as well. So I hope you're keeping on top of all the content and all your support and all the likes and shares and all that kind of stuff, guys. It really means a lot. It goes a long way to supporting me and the channel. So thank you very much. How's your game week been? I'll be jumping into the live chat shortly to catch up on you guys, see how you've been getting on. But let me know, did you snag a card this week? Did you have any of these guys that hit 100? There was a few of them. Get involved in the live chat and let me know what's going on with that. But yeah, without any further ado, the stream is coming to us a little bit earlier today, guys, because the Monday night football is quite empty. There's not much there, so I didn't really need to work around the fixture or whatever. So we'll see how you guys get on with the time in terms of the ones that normally show up for the live section. But yeah, cool. Without any further ado, let's get into it. So this is the game week that we are leaving behind now. We get 10 teams out in the end. We managed to, once Nubel became known to be playing, that released Van der Voort from under 23 duty, and we could get a challenger lineup out. Now at that time, challenger was not going to be very high on my priorities list because it was a last minute lineup, and to pull like 4 other lineups apart to make that a little bit more competitive and then try and even those ones out, I just was not doing. But I'd quite happily sub the Nubel in, release the Van der Voort, and then whoever I had spare, get the best team around that I can. I did have to make one forced criteria change. I didn't have another striker that was playing other than Jordan Larson. And the challenger lineup there, if you can see it on the page, we finished 677th with less than 200 points. So it wasn't really a worthwhile exercise in the end. We would do it by best possible score. So obviously the best score we got was the card we picked up, which was our Champ Euro D4 lineup, and I must admit it was a really sexy team. When the score came in at 408, originally I was like 7th, and I was like, fantastic, shot over 400, got in the top 10. Yeah, didn't win with over 400, but being in the top 10 I can live with that. And you know, with Captain SoRare, he hit the 100. You can't get any better than captaining the guy that gets 100 for you. So that was fantastic, of course. But as you can see, we finished 20th with 408 points. When you compare that against the other entries I had and the other leagues, what the guys at the top end of the table were packing, 408 would have went a lot further in main. And even the Champ Euro D3, I'm seeing guys that are like out the prices with 350 and being upset. I could have been in D3 with that lineup and pulled probably something better than a tier 3 rare. And again, as you can see, thanks to SoRare data website, they just rub it in a 1.5 basically off of a tier 2, which is just disgustingly close, you know. And then if we open this up, you'll see 73 points from the top. I don't see where this team gets extra 73 points. Maybe the Robbo could pull in another 20 or so. Okay, fair enough. The goalkeeper maybe another 10. But otherwise, guys, like, really, who is... I actually will look at the team that's won this, because I just don't see where this team could have got another 70 points, really. Because they all scored so well. Robbo being 55, the noticeable weak wheel in the team. But this was probably the sorest one of them all, guys. Matarita shoots 100. Trippier brings home a 60 without the clean sheet. Jordan Larson doesn't get the goal, but still pulls in 50. And Jesus Medina rocks in with 1 goal. It could have been 2. The 72. And the DNP Titan means we are 35 points short of winning anything in our maiden, like, serious D2 effort. And as you can see, 113 points off the top, with Larson not scoring and a DNP goalkeeper. I think that's actually, you know, we've done really well, but we've not brought anything to show for it. Even if Titan made it on the pitch, we would have definitely got into those spots. I can't see any other way around it. When you look at, I'll maybe look at what Vermeer scored. I think he'd have done better than Vermeer, but you can't sort of judge that. But my other super rare goalkeeper brought home 60 points, including multiplier. So even if we'd had him, even if we forget that Jap Stam's a dick and didn't play him, if I put another 60 points onto this team, I'm getting into the prizes. You know, if I put another 60 points on, yeah, we're getting into the top. We're getting into the top 10. No two ways about it. So that's a wee bit of a kick in the stones, and it's probably because I was flip flopping. I thought, I knew they'd just signed Vermeer. I knew Titan had been shuffled in and out once or twice, but I thought, nah. One of the times it was an injury pre-match that was probably dissipated. He was on the. I just believed he was going to play. Slovak is a guarantee to play, so that means my D2 outings going forward, until anything develops, it's got to be Slovak that goes into D2 now. And the next weekend, I've already looked at the fixtures. I should be able to get out a very competitive D2. So I'm looking forward to going one step further in the next week. Now, my All-Star D3, again, look at the scores. Look at the scores. Depay shooting an 80. Nemeka bringing in a 75. Eo Tanaka comes on at half-time with a 70. Hakimi lets us down. All Black doesn't get the clean sheet. And we're 19 points. 19 points off of something. Even if Hakimi brought in a 50 like Robbo did, And you know, fair enough, he never got the clean sheet, and it was one of those games where they didn't have many shots, so he wasn't going to do too well. But even if he'd brought home 50, an extra 20 points plus the multiplier, let's call it an extra 25 or whatever, we'd be getting into the tier 2 territory, potentially pushing a tier 1, depending on if we were a little bit more lucky. We could have done a wee bit better. But again, it's really hard to look at that team and think, oh, shouldn't I have played him? Because they were all great cards and it was great on paper, but Inter conceding 3 was just brutal for Hakimi. Now, this was the team that we all fell in love with, or I did anyway, before we went into the lineup. Before we went into the game week, I beg your pardon. Cherky not starting, I thought that was it. Killed, came off the bench with an assist, which was great. But it was really Nubo conceding the 2, not doing much otherwise. And Joe David's 0-0 draw, didn't get involved in much. 12 points off a tier 3, 50 points from a tier 2. We could have had tier 2s all over the place. We were so close. Never mind the tier 3s we could have bagged. This became a bit of a punt, to be honest with you, because Darwin and Renato were gambly as such, you know. But the other ends of this team, they done what they were meant to, and the super rares just never turned up. It is what it is. I didn't hold my breath on that team for too much. Zella Ryan DNP, 40 points off a card with Higuain. I told you to captain Hernandez. If he scored that penalty, it would have been even sweeter. If he did captain Hernandez and it ended up winning you something, please let me know, because that would make me feel good about myself after this disappointing Zella Ryan DNP in this team. At least that captain Hernandez maybe worked out for one of you guys. And Higuain, wow, 88 points with multiplier, gets up to 93, touching on 94. And again, 40 points off a tier. If Zella Ryan shows up and shoots a 50 or something, you know, he was captain as well. No, he wasn't. You know, we could have again been really bagging a tier 3 and getting really close to a tier 2. Sore times. This just didn't get anywhere. There's no point even looking at it. And then this actually became very, very close. Akinola and Ephra both started like we suspected. Now, Eli didn't get the 70 points that we thought he would, and if you didn't pay attention to the SKC game, Eli played centre back, not centre mid. So you know, he still got a good kind of general score on top of his decisive for all the passes and whatnot he was completing, but being a bit deeper, he wasn't getting those attempted assists as much and that kind of thing. So that's one to keep your eye out on if you have been tracking Eli. And then the LA boys, you know, Seattle won 2-0. We couldn't have done too much, but they were the last two going into it, and if they did manage to do a bit better, you know, 60 points between the two of them. If he keeps a clean sheet, he gets another 30 points, and then if he gets a clean sheet, Segura gets more points, and obviously then by virtue they've played better, and he might pick up the extra points and needed on the way. And Akinola missed a kind of sitter against New York, so again quite unlucky considering how thin that team was. And this was really let down for the Big ETH on the goalkeeper shooting a 15. We finished 4 points off of the Big ETH reward, which was a kick in the stones. But Parks and Sands, we knew they were going to show up and bring their 50s to the table. Odilon made a good debut and Usami made a good debut, but the goalkeeper, it got us, you know, we would actually got the 0.01 without the keeper. So having a rare goalkeeper playing, it would have been nice if we actually got the 0.02. Challenger, yeah, Denzel Dumfries random DNP kind of killed that, but we still finished points wise way off the mark. That wouldn't, you know, we couldn't have really done any better there either. Whew. So 9 amazing, maybe let's say 6 amazing teams, and then like 3 kind of mashing together and hope something happens. And you know, we're coming out with a tier 3. Now I've already looked at the pool. There's not too much to be excited about. Another Robbo would be nice. And then there was 1 or 2 other cards. I thought, oh, yeah, I'd take him, and yeah, he'd be a good reward. But otherwise, there's not too much to get excited about. There's a good amount of you here, guys. So before I go any further, so I guess my itch right between my shoulder blades. I'm going to dive into the live chat and see what you guys are up to. How did you get on this game week? What do you think of the teams that I reshuffled after the stream? Was there any, you know, obviously I didn't play Ferran Torres. We all know how much of an error that was now, but I didn't see him playing 2 games in a row, and now I'm really struggling going into this game week. Does he play 3 in a row? But let me see what you guys are saying. Mikey Baston is in the house. Josh Forth, good to see you, my man. Super Carlos Soler, he is indeed. Misaki, good to see you. Yeah, I was very gutted, Mikey. That Titan DNP just it hurt me right in the jellies, you know. The perfect elusive captain. Yeah, you know, I'm glad it won me something, but it was actually quite tight to not winning me anything, and that would have been horrible. Josh Forth has had a horrible game week. 40 points off our prize on 4 lineups, but come away with nothing. Ouch, so sorry, man. Highlight of the game week was Shunpai Naruse hitting a 98 in one of your training squads. Misaki unlucky. And David Peters is in the house. David, good to see you, my man, friend of the channel. Good to have you around. But so on SO5 this game week, I just need to double check I didn't need to sign in there. In SO5 this game week, we don't have too much going on now. I'm actually able to field potentially a very... Now, I actually need your help. I'm not going to finalise this squad. I'll revisit this in the stream. I really want your opinion on this, guys, okay? So, my D3, when you see it, you're going to think, wow, that is a special team. I know you will, right? But there's a big question mark. Have a guess what the question mark is. Darwin Núñez, I'm confident is going to play. I seen McBride actually chat to somebody on Twitter and he was talking about Benfica might rotate. They've got a cup game at the weekend, yada yada. I'm backing Darwin Núñez again midweek to do well. Nemecha should do well again midweek. Robbo and Van de Voort don't need explanations. You know what the question mark is in this team. It's the man himself. It's Ferran Torres. Now, on top of that, right, my alternative options, this is where the conundrum comes in, okay? So my alternatives are Adam Maher, who have just won, missed the last game with a yellow card accumulation, has been a boss midfielder all season. They're at home against Groningen. It's a Europa place playoff game of sorts. Yari is at home to Bruges. They're home and hosed. Grujic should and could play against Belenese. I think that's it. Snodgrass, I'm not even going to entertain that. Probably tied up anyway with his loan agreement. So, you know, Grujic, yeah, he could be the best scoring midfielder that's available to me. Adam Maher and Verscharen will play. Should bring home between 50 and 60, either one of them. But if Torres plays, he's going to be playing up front. He's got a you know, you don't even need to tell you about Torres. So anyway, guys, what is your thoughts? Who would you play? Would you play Maher? Would you play Verscharen? Would you play Grujic? Or would you play Ferran Torres? Let me know. That's going to be a recurring... I'm going to keep coming back to this in the stream because before coming on live, I used to do this quite a lot between when Footstock and Football Index, when, you know, all that was going on, and even when my attention was waning from that. I used to spend a lot of time on YouTube, like listening to press conferences just because I find them interesting, amongst other reasons and motivations I might have. So I listened to the Guardiola conference just before the stream. And I was trying to listen out for those little giveaway telltales, you know, like who might play and that kind of thing. And no one out and out asked him, of course, you know, but there was a few Torres questions, a few Mahrez questions. And I was chatting to Hendo, friend of the channel, earlier as well, and he reckons, and he's quite heavy on his FPL this season, he reckons that Foden and Mahrez come in for this game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. The question for me, De Bruyne has just come back to training, he won't start. The question really is, who starts up front? With no De Bruyne being there, because De Bruyne successfully in Europe has been playing in that number 9 role. Number 9. The false 9 has now become the false 9, I think, under Pep. So he won't play, so it's going to be Jesus, Aguero, or Ferran is what I really see happening there in one of those 3 spots. He might even play out wide, maybe play Foden centrally, that could happen. He could even play Raheem Sterling, who knows. But the form he's in, what I'm really trying to struggle to get my head around is, what is Pep's preparation for the Champions League final? Is it bring in half the squad for the Brighton game, rest the other half, and then mirror image that for the final game against Everton? And then all the final players have had like 60 minutes each, or you know, a varying degree of that number going into the final. They've got, you know, they're keeping in match shape, because that is important. Or does he have basically the same team go out against Brighton this weekend, and then goes full final team right against Everton and then rest everyone? Or does he just, you know, Aguero for example, I see Aguero being wrapped in cotton wool all the way to the final, because he's a guy that he could just get injured at any moment, and in a final situation he will be on the bench, no doubt. He almost guarantees you a goal from the bench, because you know if you give Aguero half an hour in a Champions League final for Man City, the sort of team that we have at the moment, you don't want to be missing out on that opportunity to have him available. So it then becomes, you know, so I'm back to it just being between Ferran and Jesus, and for how good Ferran did in that role, I wouldn't be surprised to see Pep leave him there and put Mahrez and Foden around him and see how he does. Because it's not even out of the question at this stage that if the form keeps up, he might even start him in the final, knowing that De Bruyne and all these guys are in the squad somewhere else, perhaps, because De Bruyne has only come back to... You never know with Pep, which is the problem. So, Maher, Grujic, Verscharen, or Ferran Torres. Who would you pick? And it most likely have to be captain. If you would captain the Robbo over one of the midfielders, let me know, and let me know why. Chris Quirk, good to see you. Awful start. Common Nooble didn't help. Yeah. Nagadeo 97 carried you to the .02. Chrissy, well done. One shot league has been my main focus. 13th overall. Boom. Fist bump. Chrissy, well done. Evan, even .01 for you. Nagadeo did well for Andarus. Oh, they were both in your training teams. Evan, Nagadu and Narus. Evan correctly had them both in training teams. Simo, good to see you. Evening, my man. Torres should get the start. When else if not? I like the comments from Pep made today about him maybe being the solution. Now, well, did you listen to the press conference, Chris, or did you read that from an article? Because I actually listened to it, and he doesn't really say that he is the solution. What his actual words were was like with Sergio and Gabriel being injured for spells in the season, Ferran became available as an option, and he did well in it. So you know, if that's your take on the press conference, that's interesting. But did you read that? Is what I'd like to know also, or instead of. Misaki, I think we'll see a second string team against Brighton, and then full strength against Everton. I think he plays Aguero on Sunday for his likely last game. Yeah, Mikey, that could be a good shout. Torres midweek. Stefan, my man, good to see you. Got to duck out early. Catch you later, Joshy boy. Misaki, if I want to be safe, mate. Yeah, well, that's kind of. Yeah, Misaki, you're kind of echoing my thoughts already. You know, Mayer's a banker. You know, it's a playoff game. He's been the man all season for them. I've just won him as a reward, so it would be quite poetic. But it would also be very poetic for this Ferran Torres I've been sitting on all season. And I wonder if he's actually done me anything in SO5. Let's have a wee peek at my gallery. I wonder if Ferran has won me anything. He's one of my first cards I bought. I paid fuck all for him really, but I'm not sure if he's been in enough lineups because I have played him and I have caught some of these goals and assists that he's carried throughout the season. I'm just not sure if he's actually been on a successful lineup or not. So he's been in All-Star D4 and the weekly challenge. Yeah, he's been an ETH magnet for me. So he's actually done me. Oh, he won me a Yang Sang Min. Oh, that guy. He won me that guy. He was like 36 that I sold for like a crumb of an ether. But otherwise, he's picked me up 0.2, 0.2, so that's 0.6, 0.1, 0.11 he's won me. So I think he's probably paid himself back, especially with the price of ETH between game week 149 and game week 162. He probably has paid for himself back, in fairness to him. And then for his previous owner, he's won a Manyan and a Sakala. So he's got good pedigree. But his score ratios, yeah, recently, yeah, I'm really tempted to hang on him. Level 15 I've got him at. Good multiplier for an out-of-season card, you know. Interesting. We'll revisit this, guys, but I want to hear your thoughts. Keep them coming. Hi, Quinny. Finally caught a live stream. Gaza, good to see you. And Chris, you read an article. Yeah, okay. So, again, that's why I prefer it. And again, it's not to, I'm not trying to be snobby or anything, but it's always why, especially with Pep and Klopp, try and listen. There's a really good YouTube channel. I'll actually just pull it up on screen for you. 2 secs. I'll just show you. This is where I go to. Now, this guy on YouTube gets all the press conferences that are in English for most of the. Like, you'll get Conte on it once in a while, like Serie A stuff. You'll get some Nagelsmann and some Hansi Flick on occasion. But he's got most, if not all, of the EPL ones as they go out. I'm just going to bring him on screen now for you. His name is Beanie Man Sports. You'll find it here. Now, this guy he gets all the stuff in it. You can see there's a Pep one with the wee red bar. I've just watched it. And again, you'll get these. So the embargo. What happens with press conferences, right, if you don't know, in the Premier League, is that they'll do these press conferences, and as you can see, they're about 20 minutes, and then they'll say, right, now the embargo kicks in. That's for the written press to have headlines tomorrow of things that they've said today that you are not allowed to know about until tomorrow. And when the embargo gets lifted, this channel will release the embargoed section, so you can actually catch all the press conference stuff, like the full thing on it. I was actually going to check out. It was Newcastle that it was the last game, wasn't it? I'm actually going to listen to this press conference as well after the stream, because I want to hear what he says about Ferran after the match. I've not done that yet. But as you can see, you know, all the main guys are here, and it's full press conferences. It's not edited down or anything, so you can actually hear all the questions and all the stuff that gets said and how it gets said and how the response was, what did the translator say, all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, it's mainly Premier League, but when Champions League's on, you will start to find the Bayern one, and it's not the Champions League one, it'll be maybe the domestic one, but I've seen ones on here for like guys like Nagelsmann and Flick and whatever previously. But as you can see, it's mainly the top 6 guys recently, Jose's and all these types of guys, you know, Solskjaer and Tuchel and all the rest of it. So that's a good source for your Premier League stuff if you have any cards on SoRare, if you're playing FPL or anything like that. But yeah, that's why I prefer it, because sometimes, you know, the article can be misleading. I mean, I've read articles and thought, oh, I'll go listen to the press conference because that sounds really interesting, and then you listen to it and you're like, you didn't say that. You know. But yeah, so a wee bit of a tangent, but there we go. Beanie Man Sports, give them a check out. So this is the team. I think I'm going to leave it as is, but I'm going to revisit this a few times in the stream tonight, guys. So let your thoughts and feelings be known on it. Now, if you haven't already, please do like the stream. Please do like the video. It means a lot to me. Now, we could actually, if you look at that team, right, the only non-under 23 element is the defender Robbo. Now, we do have under 23 options. I've also got Kylian Sardella, who could probably not play. And I've also got the new boy to the team. I've got Mbemba as well, but he DNP'd in the last match, so he's a question mark. I've got Miazga, and I've got Kosunu Odilon. So I've got a few defensive options, Odilon in particular, that could knock me into an under 23 situation. But like I always say on the channel, I'm always going to go for the biggest pot. So if I was to finish first in under 23s or finish first in global, I'm going to get paid more for hitting in global. And yeah, it might not be an Mbappe ticket or whatever. Do you know what? That might actually be worth looking into, because if it is a weaker game week, let's have a look at the prize pool. Because if Mbappe, star rare in the All-Star, there's no Mbappe, but we've got Ronaldo, Neymar, Kimmich, Lukaku, Courtois, a lot of the other guys I would want, Müller, Alisson, a lot of good guys in here. Under 23s, star rares, we've got Donnarumma. Yeah, we're going to have an Mbappe in here. But we do, Lautaro Martinez, Alfie Davis, Gravenberch. It's the bottom of the pool that kind of interests me more, because I was to finish not first, you know, at the bottom end of the tier payout. Yeah, some of these guys I wouldn't be too buzzing about winning. Guga, Brian Brobby. Yeah, I'm going to stay with global. There's no Mbappe tickets this game week. Oh, Chris, good catch. Okay, so Sardella's known injured anyway. Thank you very much. I've not been playing Sardella recently, so I've just not had the need. So as a result, you'll notice that those are the ones you lose track of, and then when you need to summon upon them is when you can get a wee bit of egg on your face. So Chris, thanks very much. I wouldn't have probably picked him anyway, but thank you very much for the definitive confirmation that I will not be picking Sardella. So yeah, no, I think this prize pool, even the ones I wouldn't be that buzzing about getting, like Leandro Damiao, I'd still play him and could probably sell him. Pavard, I'd quite like, you know, some guys here that yeah are a bit naff, but there's too many cards I'd be happy to win here, so I'm not going to drop out of global to under 23s, because I'd much rather win a Ronaldo or a Neymar than just a Donnarumma or an Alfie Davis. I'd much rather win a Lewandowski. Ronaldo, if I could win Ronaldo this midweek, or Courtois, they would be my two. Oh yeah, give me that. Kimmich, of course. Kimmich, Ronaldo and Courtois, Müller, Alisson, my 5 I would want. And then yeah, there's plenty of choice otherwise. A lot of goalkeepers outside of that. Sweet. So my D4, we've got to search for the ETH somehow. Now the conundrum I've got is I don't have another goalkeeper playing, and I don't have another striker playing. Well, I don't have another rare striker playing. So I'm going with a DNP goalkeeper. I've opted for Gabriel and Mbemba alongside Verscharen, but I'm actually thinking I might drop Mbemba now for the Mayor. The Grujic, I could easily just drop him for one of these guys that I know will turn up. I'll pick the Mayor, of course, because I think he'll do better. I've got my 10% for Sharon. I've got 2 for Sharon's, if you're not aware. My only striker is Common Onuachu. And then in defence, I've got Gabriel, who's also U23, so I could go with him if I did want to drop that team out. And who was the other option I had? I've got Odilon. I think I'd maybe pick Odilon, by the way, over Gabriel's been playing. And I'll probably stick with Gabriel, I think, and I'll probably go captain. I'll probably captain the Mayor, just because he's the boss in a team that's at home. That's a really important match. I've also got Jack Hendry I could call upon. How's his scores been? 40 in the last match. They're at home at Mechelen. Mark McKenzie, I'm not gambling on him playing. And same as Zinho, I'm not gambling on him playing. So I think I'd probably go with Gabriel. Yeah, I think I'd go with the Gabriel. Something's telling me to play Miazga now because he's got a bigger multiplier. Nah, I'm going to stick with Gabriel. So that's my ETH hunting. If I can get 0.01 this game week, I'll be content. If I can get the 0.02, I'll be fucking buzzing. The special weekly, I don't have anything really to enter it with left over. It's only Jupiler Pro League players. I could not, if it allowed common cards, I could do a full team, but nah, it's not worth the gamble otherwise. So that's basically where I'm at, SO5 way, guys. I did say in the little tweet I put out, I would do a little bit of market chat. And you guys want to talk about the market at all, let me know in the live stream, we can dig into it. That is open to discussion. There is 1 minute to go on the super rare Teo Hernandez. It's outside my budget, unfortunately. It's a really good pack. It's coming in. The Tomori and the Rafael Leao would be really good cards to get alongside that and ease the blow. Look at Big Willie going in there for it. That is a card that is a must own if you can afford it, in my opinion. A super rare Teo. So it's... is anyone going to snipe it, I wonder? The thing with the market over the last month, over the last like 6 months, it's been pandemonium. But with he finally starting to like correct is the term, you know, but go backwards basically. I woke up this morning, I had 0.0, you can probably see my balance is at 0.8 now. I had like 0.3 of card sales go through the the wee hours of the morning, and I don't think for a minute it would have been anything other than people buying ETH rapid cheap and then doing what I was trying to do on the last stream I was telling you about, going into the market, find something that ETH wise is now incorrect priced and go and snap it up. I'm not bothered about the cards that get sold. I think I sold a Bassett for 0.18 or something, and a Mauricio Pereira for 0.115, which was a bit light, and I did think that when I listed it, but it sold quickly. I didn't need it. I kind of wouldn't minded keeping them, to be honest with you, had I had the choice over again. But hey ho, he's sold and somebody's happy to get him, and I'm happy to have the ETH. My D4 has a potential DNP keeper and no striker. Fairly quiet game week. Off to Wembley at the weekend for the FA Trophy final, Mikey. Who is that yours you'll be supporting in that? Sorry, let me know. That's good to hear you getting to a game and a final at Wembley. That'd be fucking brilliant, mate. Good on you. So it's interesting, right? So this is the first time I've actually noticed this happening live. So I never bought a bundle, right? 0.1371, and straight away you can see how that's been allocated out. So it's 0.97s for all the rares, and then he's getting basically credited with an ETH of the value, which is a fair price or so to pay for a super rare T1. I'd definitely suggest. But it makes these guys look a little bit cheaper than what they actually are. So it's kind of a funny one to kind of gauge off, and that's a great deal, whoever's just picked that up. If I had a wee bit more ETH, I'd have probably done it, because the Leao and the Tomori, you can definitely eat up a good bit of ETH off the price, and you're left with a Teo Hernandez, a Simon Kjaer, and a Diego Dallo, which you can do with as you please. That's a really good bundle. We caught that quite fortuitously. I wasn't actually planning on even looking at that or attempting it. Hereford, brilliant, good luck, mate. I hope they do well for you. We've got a super rare goalkeeper going off there now. Is he playing? I might actually, no, he's not playing. Might have actually been mildly interested in that, just because of the whole Titan situation that I was explaining to you guys before. Is there anything exciting in here? Varane, Valverde, Isco, nice. We'll probably got a little bit more than what I'm willing to pay for something like that. Now, the one shot league, as I say, we didn't actually get our team in. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the Belgian fixtures, because that's what I need now. I need to do well in the one shot league. I suspect I'm not going to be the only one. What am I trying to do? Sorry. Oh, the Belgian fixtures. I suspect I'm not going to be the only one that's taking it so seriously. Before we actually dive into that, I'm going to do the SoRare data stuff with you quickly. So I got a buy in the Blackpool Cup, which was nice for me, so that was great. So I look forward to seeing who I'll get in the next game week. Now, I'm not sure if these scores are final yet, because there's some DNPs and some subs to be kicking in yet. But in the SoRare Data League, or the SoRare Data Leagues, I won this one. Now again, I've been quite fortuitous that my opposition has dropped the ball big time. So as you can see, they started off with a a very unusual 4-3-2 formation. And then on the bench they've just had another midfielder, so Bamba will play in this, I'm guessing, in place of the missing midfielder, I would think. But he's got a 0 DNP defender, no backup defender, so that was kind of a handicap for me there. Pretty much squished it. So yeah, I had a DNP. No, I didn't. Oh, it was in the other cup. I had a DNP defender. So it looks like we beat Welshie, which is cool. And in the Flint Michigan Mega Bowl against Marcus 124, I think I might have lost. Finally, might have lost a match. I think I've got a DNP to catch, but so I'm not too sure. Whoa. Cronholm expected to Chicago. No, I'm not interested in Chicago. Sorry, they're just not for me. So I'm trailing to Marcus by basically 100 points. He has had everyone play. Off Polido hit a 92. Wow. Kind of regret selling that after seeing it, but hey ho, would I have picked him? I probably would have. So I've got 2 DNPs, a goalkeeper and a defender, and I'm 100 points behind. And my goalkeeper and my defender get me about 100 points. So that will be nervy to see exactly how that pans out. I'm not going to go into the maths. I'm going to suspect I've lost. Who did I captain? Larson. Imagine I captain Torres. That'd have been disgusting. It's the only place I had Ferran playing this game week, so I just thought it's a safe option. It's a bit of fun, the Flint Michigan Mega Bowl for me. I'm using some of these cards like the Gutman and like the Ferran and the Azevi, who got pumped this game week, that I wouldn't normally use otherwise, you know. So that was good fun. And if I've lost to Marcus, then congratulations on the 3 points, and I wish you all the best with the rest of the fixtures in the Flint Michigan Mega Bowl. But we charge on. So Belgian fixtures, right? Let's have a peek. Let me have a see. So Jupiler League. Fixtures. Okay, so what I'm gonna, so round 5 we've got, that's the midweeks, yeah. So we've got 4 games between both conferences, the bottom and the top. I think all my players are mainly at the top in terms of what group they're in. So we've got Genk at home at Antwerp. It's probably a decent game for Van de Voort, because Antwerp are typically, I've got a little pop-up that just came on screen that you won't be able to see, okay? But Genk are in good form, Antwerp not as much, and the head-to-head has actually got high scoring written all over it on the head-to-head front, but with form and whatever, it definitely does favour Van de Voort and Genk to do the business. They need a point of some description to confirm their place and cut Anderlecht adrift in third, and Anderlecht need points to keep ahead of Antwerp. So 2 home teams highly motivated, and I think that's probably where I'm going to try and put my strength at motivated home teams. So do I still have Van de Voort available to play? I think I've got like save a player and a free use and all that stuff to use. I've still got Van de Voort, so we'll put him in. In defence, who do I have? I don't know if I want to gamble on McKenzie, do I? I've got Anderlecht. Michele, I'm going to go Daniel Munoz because I have him readily available and I don't need to play anything. Midfield, DJ Ofoe looks good. I might bring him back in. Yeah, I might play a DJ Ofoe and also Lakonga. We'll play Lakonga. It's going to be Nemeka up front. I need to use my power up thing to bring him back. Yeah, so I need Nemeka, and who did I say who else I was going to bring back? So I've got 3 free uses. Let's bring in Nemeka. I may actually just drop that Daniel Munoz if I can get. I need to double check who I've got who could replace him, but swap. So who would I want? Munoz or Miazga? I probably would stick with the Munoz actually. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with the Munoz, that's fine by me. I might even dive in to save him. So who was the extra card that I wanted to pull in? It was... I don't even remember picking this guy. Muleka. He's been doing alright, hasn't he? Muleka. Junior Ito. Bring Junior Ito in. Who they're trying to bring back? Bring in Onuachu, because I do have that common. Yeah, I think I'll bring in Onuachu. I'll bring Onuachu back. Oh, Fiji Ofoe is who I was going to play. Maybe... Nah. Nah, I'm not going to play a Fiji Ofoe. I'll pick... who was I just talking about there? Aye, Onuachu. I wonder if it's because it's my common, if I get any more power for it or whatever. I'm not too sure how all the multipliers and such works. New power up, I get more stuff. Save a player, got it. Right, okay, cool. Sweet. I don't know how deep a dive that actually is, but that's as deep as I'm going, I suppose. I'm going with Van der Vaart, Munoz, and Onuachu from Genk, and then I'm going to go Lokonga and the Mecha. Do I have another midfielder that I would maybe swap the Lokonga for? He's so consistent. What about the last time they played Bruges? 53 he scored. 53 in the last game. Fiji Ofoe is on really good form. I mean, actually, I'm really tempted to play Fiji Ofoe. And I like saying Fiji Ofoe. So they're at home at Standard Liège. What's the standards looking like? So they need the 3 points badly. Standard Liège, I kind of buy it now. This is last chance saloon for Ghent, and they are hunting down Mechelin. Ghent are in high scoring form against Ostend, at least anyway. In the last match they lost 2-1, but Standard Liège have been very poor. So actually, I might stay away from that. It's a bit dicey, but no, I'm gonna go with a Fiji Ofoe instead of Lokonga. But I need to go and bring him back, don't I? So free use. Ofija, I can tell I like saying it, don't you? Ofija Ofoe. Ofija Ofoe, where are you, pal? There you are. Odija Ofoe, sorry. Saying it that much, I started getting the F's and the D's mixed up. I know you're saying that, Chris, right? But I'm pretty sure there was like some sort of reward for, or some sort of benefit to using cards that you owned, although not essential. Maybe they get XP from it or something. I'm sure there's something that they get from it using your own cards. There is a benefit to that. But yeah, so we're going Munoz, DJ Ofoe, Nemecha, and Onuachu and Van der Vaart goals. That could be a fucking powerhouse team. The Munoz is the only kind of steady Eddie, should get about 40 points. The rest of these guys could score really high. And fingers crossed for that. Munoz against Bruges next week. Probably best to play this week. Good idea, Chrissy. Muleka back from injury, scored the last minute last game week. Griezmann bought his unique. Wow, interesting. No boosts, etc. on One Shot League guy, but can spoke about that. Lokonga will be better against Antwerp next week. Got mine saved too. Chrissy boy, I'm with you, pal, all the way. Been a lot of multi accounting on One Shot League identified today. Really? Wow. I think it's a small XP boost, is it? Sweet Chrissy boy. Cheers for keeping me sane and make sure I'm not telling myself I'm imagining stuff that's there. But wow, a bit of multi-counting on One Shot League. I suppose as soon as you see that Professor Techers is picking up a unique for winning the thing, definitely made everyone sit up and go, hold on a minute, I need to take this a bit seriously. Mojito FC was gunning down big time, level 14 yet. He's been taking it so super seriously. Anyone else we know? Quirky, you are number 13th overall, son. Fucking brilliant. That is overall, isn't it, this leaderboard? But Chrissy boy, well done. That is you, isn't it? Quirky 48, Chris. That is you, son. Well done. Hendo, up in 18th. Check you out, my man. Top 20. Fucking killing it. Anyone else we know? Grandpa Langerak. That's funny. EBR Treble 7's a name I recognise, certainly. And then there's me, yeah. 2,500 of... oh, so I think I'm quite happy. I'm hopefully pull a card out one shot league this week. Hopefully. You never know. But yeah, fingers crossed for that. Buzzing. Cool. I think that's kind of all the gameplay stuff that I have lined up for tonight, guys. So I'm just going to actually sit and chill out for 5. Have a chat with you guys in the live chat. We'll see if anything comes up spontaneously we want to talk about or look at or whatever. Otherwise, I may have to lovies and leavies and wish you good luck for the game week ahead. There will be a fleet tomorrow. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to sit and chill out, but I'm going to do stuff before you all leave and you can listen. There'll be a fleet tomorrow for the card we pulled today, so you can see what that is. There is another like 3 or 4 videos locked and loaded and ready to go. We've got episodes 3 of How to Build Your Club ready to rock, and I've got another couple of other series videos that are ready to go, so keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you find me on Twitter posting stuff, guys, that are about channels and content, retweets and likes, guys, it means so much to me. They help me out so much, you've got no idea, so please do that. But yeah, it's been a great fun tonight, guys, and I like having the streams on a Monday. Can be a wee bit sharper if there's not too much to look ahead to. But Nemecha and Darwin Núñez, when I bought both of them, I did actually think I cannot wait for the day I'm putting both these guys in the same team, which is what makes me really hesitant about the Ferran Torres, because I can see both of those super rares going off big time, and then I'm fucking stuck with Ferran Torres as captain and he's fucking not in the squad or something. I can't swear enough, guys, at the moment. Or do I just go with the mayor and go mega safe? Tricky. Yes, Misaki Key will be back next week, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And also, guys, if you guys aren't on Twitter, you won't be aware of this, but I bought another super rare. Now, I was chatting in the stream last Thursday about like the market movements and this, that and the other thing. So while Ether was up at like $3,000, I managed to pick up a Van Dijk for half a coin. I got the Matthew Hoppe ETH-wise very cheap. I'm happy with that. One of these guys. I got the Sean Johnson for 0.313, and then I got this Arturo Isaka for 0.16 something. You know, I know he's not in great form, but I know he's Isaka. Now, what brought me to that was just pure. I wasn't even looking for an Isaka. I wasn't even looking for an Isaka super rare. But what brought me to that, right, is I was thinking about how well Larson's been doing for me. And I was thinking, do you know, I wonder if I've got any other rares that, do you know what, a cheap super rare would be lovely. That I'm really happy with the rare card, and I've road tested it, you know, and I was in general just thinking about the Hall of Fame, because I've still got spot number 5 open. A lot of you guys suggested Isaka. Isaka has been a club legend at FC Barcelona, must be said. And look how many rewards he's won me. You know, I'm the only owner of this guy. He's picked me up 8 cards, and this is the crazy thing, right? After I bought the Isaka, is when I looked at this, right? I have won with this Isaka, Lucas Alario, Hayo Kawabe, Tatsuhiro Sakamoto, Yuta Misao, Kelvin Leerdam, and then the next 3 have all stayed, right? But Marcos Jr., Kim Sung-gyu, and Takashi Usami. If we go back to these guys, Leerdam I sold for like let's say 0.025. Misao about the same. Sakamoto I sold for about 1/5 of an ether. So we're talking about 1/4 of a coin for these 3. The Kawabe, I think I sold him for about 0.3ish. So we're now talking about just over half a coin. And then Alario, I cannot remember what I sold him for. Let's just say it was 0.15. So this rare Isaka has bagged me about 0.7 in ETH, roughly. And I'm still hanging on to a goalkeeper and 2 strikers that he's pulled me that I could also sell for some coin, and probably combine those 3. I could probably say this Isaka has earned me an ether, roughly. So when I then look at this guy, and he costs less than what I sold the rare Sakamoto for, I think it's a great homage to FC Barcelona that we mirror what we've done with Jordan Larson. We've got the last season rare, done really well, upgrade to the super rare from this season, and we do that. So I wasn't like really after it or anything, but it happened and it was quite cool. And it also, so I've got the 4 of 10 Isaka, and I've got the 4 of 100 Isaka, which is quite cute. You know, I've got number 4s, which is nice. So I think that will almost cement Isaka into the Club Hall of Fame alongside these other guys, I think it'd be quite fitting also. These are the OG guys that I picked up that really got the gallery up and moving. It's a wee bit disappointing there's no MLS contingent here, but I don't think I had any MLS cards really go off last season. I had, you know, Brendan Aronson did okay, Zala Ryan did okay, this one did okay, that Johnny Russell Morgan, but none of them did amazing. You know, Isaka won 8 cards, and I don't really have many other guys that are in that territory who are not already in the Hall of Fame. So if we get some good performances out of the super rare Saka, I think he will, not the super rare, the rare, will go into the Hall of Fame, and I think we will be completed the year 1 Hall of Fame, and then we might even revisit that through year 2, might clear the deck and go again in terms of the Hall of Fame. Top 5 will win a tier 0 in the One Shot League. Chrissy Boy is saying 6 to 100th is a tier 4. What? So top 5 get a star rare and everyone else gets crap, kinda. Is that what it is? I think the bonus is only on your rares on One Shot League. You don't technically own the commons. Okay, fair enough. I've hit 250s basically every week so far, being consistent but no high scoring game weeks. Is that in the One Shot League, Misaki? Because that's still kind of good going, by the way. Obviously you want a bigger score to pull something, but you know, Liga Belga has 10 plus A/Cs. Oh, that's multi-account guy. Yeah. Look forward to seeing what you pull tomorrow. I think I've said that already. If only his shirt number was 4 times 416, that'd be nice. What is his shirt number? Is it like 8 or something? 10. Shirt number 10. Last season, and what about this season? So I'm thinking next season I try and get a Larson and an Osaka unique. That would be quite cool. Yeah, he's number 10 this season as well. Don't know if I'll have the budget for those cards. Next thought. Will you get an SR Sakala? Me? No. Why? I'm a Celtic fan, mate. Why the fuck would I want an SR Fashion Sakala? Martin Cooper, what is up? You tell me, buddy. You tell me. So part of the thing as well is I've got the Mayor up for sale because I think it's a good time to sell him. You know, it's a midweek fixture and it's a good player and I've just won him as a reward. I'm kind of trying to build the ETH balance back up again. To get involved in some auctions that may be coming up. But if I keep him, I know he starts. I pretty much know. Yeah, I'm quite far and away the cheapest there. Actually, I might sell. So I need to keep my fingers on buttons. But I think when I look at this, did they play in the Challenger lineup? I think I did throw him in a lineup just to get him out because I did have him. No, I didn't. Or did I put him? No, I didn't use him. Oh, I only just won him, I think. And he was suspended anyway, yeah, which wouldn't have meant anything. But when I look at his scores, I think this guy will play. And yeah, chances of him getting a good score. I'd like to actually know, and that's what I'm going to actually do, is I'm going to have a wee scan over these scores with you guys. And I'm going to try and find the Groningen games. So Venlo, here in Veen. Groningen, 0-0. 80 points. Right, that's really good to know. So now that I've seen that one, it's really far away. I'm going to just have a look at the actual fixtures and try and find out recently when the last time they played was. So I'm not going to go through all of them because if that was right at the beginning of the season, there's a good chance it was only a few weeks ago. And if that's the case, so knowing that will make the second score easy to find. But him getting 80 in a 0-0 at home sways me. Ah, okay, fair enough, Chris, that makes sense. Overspent on rewards the first iteration, fair enough. Martin Cooper, first reward, fist bump, pal, well done. What division was that in? Was it Champion America, by any chance? Right, come on, Eredivisie, load already. This is not what I want to see. I want to see everything. So I'm really swinging towards me here at the moment. If I see he scored a really good scoring as Groningen in both games, it's taking so slow tonight, guys. I'm really sorry. How's the connection on the stream? Is it okay? Results. Or do we do fixtures and just look? Yeah, we'll just do fixtures and look at the head-to-head. That'll be easier. be good if there was a nice like date to SoRare Gameweek calculator. You know. Yeah, so the 0-0 he scored 80 was in November, and then 12th January, so it's not actually going to be that long ago. Let's check if Mayer actually played in it, in case it was a DNP. So he's got a few DNPs dotted around. Yeah, he was a DNP. Talk about intuition, you would think I looked at this already. Was he on the bench? He was on the bench and he didn't come on. That is weird. Maybe I was just coming back from injury or something. I know you can't see this, or maybe you can see these windows. Yeah, you can. Right, so let's have a peek at all his matches. So let's see when he missed that Groningen game in January, what was going on. Yeah, okay, so he just came back from an injury in December, missed the game. Yeah, it was his last game on the bench before returning to first team action. And then since then he's been back and he's picked up 5 yellows and a couple of goals. I think I'm going to go for him, just knowing that he played an 80 in the last fixture. And I know Groningen have been an exciting team with some of the SO5 cards that they've pulled up, or we've been able to pull. But I think I'm going to delist him at my peril, and I'm going to play him. Maybe I'm going to list him again, but I'm going to list him like second, third cheapest or something, just so I don't. Yeah, if someone's going to pay him, going to buy him off me and ruin this game week, then I don't want it to be bottom dollar price I'm selling at. So let's see, used. Let's pull in the Mayer. I was going to put Ferran. I'm actually thinking about not even playing Ferran Torres. Oh, I don't know, man. This is so hard, man. I could easily play. Do you think it's possible to rock an MLS team and score 200 with a goalie who's getting 0? Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll tell you this, Kevin. I've got Sands and Parks, and between the two of them, they will get you 100 points, almost guaranteed every game week, excluding multiplier. So yeah, find another 2 guys that can shoot you about 50s, no problem. Quinny, I'm trying to get my mates involved for European teams. Would you buy now or wait on the new season cards? Probably the most common question I get asked. I have a video on the channel called 3 Tips to Buying. I would ask your friends to watch that video. Or you watch the video and translate it from Scottish into your native tongue. Whatever it may be. But yeah, 3 tips to buying. And I made that video because of that question, because I get it all the time. So, not that I don't want to give you an answer, but I would just butcher something that I've done in a really nice video already. Just check that out when you get the chance. For Euro cards over the summer, their prices will drop. It's really hard to say that. With the Euros coming out, and you should expect an increase in user base, you know, with all the marketing stuff they've had T's to us already. There's a lot of moving factors. It's really hard to judge. And when you also say that, are you talking about ETH, are you talking about fiat? Because again, there's a lot of other dynamics that go around the pricing and what fluctuates the pricing on these cards. So it's really hard to say. I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to go with the banker. I'm going to go with the banker Mayer. And Captain Robbo against Burnley. I reckon he'll get plenty of crosses and deliveries in. I think I'm going to captain the Mayer just because I know he's been rested as well. Robbo or Mayer? I wonder what Robbo's score last time he played Burnley. Can we try and find that? I can't believe I knew, or I had this intuition that he DNP'd against Groningen and I wasn't going to find it by looking through the whole chart. There's a nice little bit of premonition, which I'm actually hoping, now that I'm saying that out loud, it might be a kind of message from the universe perhaps. That I'm meant to play Adam Maher. That I was meant to look at that, discover that, and discover that Robbo just does not miss a game, does he? Alright, let's see. Palace. City. If this is boring for you, I'm really sorry, but I need to check this. Brighton. Burnley. Oh, is it? Oh, here we go. This is better. Oh, we can just do this. This is much better. Right, Burnley, Burnley, Burnley. They lost 1-0 and he scored a 46 at Anfield. Didn't watch that game. I don't know if I even remember it happening. So they'll be out for revenge. They're in good fettle. They need to, yeah, I might even just captain the Robbo. Yeah, we're captain the... So hard. What was that Utrecht game when he DNP'd? What was the score? Two each. I'm going to read this little... Oh, you can't see it, right? There's a little preview thing on Flash Scores. Utrecht and Groningen lock horns in this playoff semi-final. It's both sides battling it out for a spot in next season's newly formed Europa Conference. Another tight affair could ensue as these teams share the points in both their head-to-head campaigns, whilst 5 of their last 7 Eredivisie matches have ended in a stalemate, both of which been 0-0. A quick glance at recent form in the Dutch top flight would indicate that Utrecht have the upper hand. However, despite looking strong overall across all their last 10 matches, 4 wins, 4 draws and 2 losses, Rennie Hackey's men have struggled on home soil of late, returning just 2 wins in 7 attempts. In fact, those 7 matches saw the host concede over 1.5 goals on 4 occasions, whilst they failed to keep a clean sheet in any. Now that is interesting statistics, right? But when you burrow through that, in the last 7, they have played PSV, Sparta Rotterdam, Heerenveen, Willem II and 20 should be gimmies, and Ajax and Feyenoord. So they've had all the big guns in the last couple of games, so I don't actually read too much into that statistical analysis. Now it must be said, by the way, Flash Scores, if you're not aware of this by now, is a massive Bet365 website, affiliate website. So they want you to bet on the game, which is why they give you all these stats and stuff. Visitors' form on the road has been remarkably indifferent. 7 wins, 2 draws and 8 losses. 15 of their 34 Eredivisie games witnessing both teams scoring. It's a joint league low. The first goal here could be crucial to emphasise that. Groningen, so they're expecting it to be hot stat. Utrecht have averaged a league high of 8 corners when they're at home per season. Oh, if Adam is on the corners, I think he is, that's why he gets all the points. Captain me. Oh, fuck. How can I captain him if he's meant to be in the team? Over Torres. And we put Ferran in here for shits and gigs. If he's going to do something, he can go bag me some more ETHs. That's what he's been doing. Been putting him in my D4s. He's been pulling an ETH, so he can continue to do that. We'll make him captain because he's the man. On camera, I cannot regret that decision because I'm going for the guy that will definitely play. Guys, I've had a lot of fun tonight. We've run a little bit longer than I thought we might have. I hope you've had fun with the stream tonight, guys. Keep your eyes peeled for the content that's coming out. Good luck with the midweeker. If you're getting a team out, could have stayed my bar on it. If you're getting a team out midweek, good luck to you. I hope you bag something. Check out the fleets tomorrow to see what I've pulled. I look forward to seeing all your fleets and all your trophy day activity on Twitter as well. Like, subscribe, share, retweet.